Welcome back to Fire Emblem, everybody. This is Fire Emblem for the Game Boy Advanced, not the original Fire Emblem, because that's only released in Japan. Even now, as far as I'm aware, I can't play it legally without importing it, and then I'd have to learn Japanese, and it'd be a whole thing. A bit too much work, I believe, to play a video game. We're on Chapter 2 now. Sword of Spirits, it says. Which is actually a fitting title. Chapter 1 may or may not have actually fit the content. This one does. There's something we're doing here. We're gonna go visit this sacred sword, which will definitely not at all react to any of the characters we've met so far. Especially not the one who only wields a sword. Certainly not. How quaint. I feel like quaint is a word nobody uses unironically. Or ingenuinely. Like if you say something is quaint, you're being like sarcastic about it, right? No, but bandits showed up. We're gonna go visit the sword, but then there were bandits. Wonder if we're gonna have to defeat the bandits. If I remember correctly, this is actually like almost as tutorialized as the prologue. I mean, it's still teaching us stuff. I think we visit villages in this game, or in this chapter. And then we also break a wall. And then apart from that, it's like super simple. There's not really much decision making. This game is slow to get into. It takes quite a while to actually get some agency. And I get why, kind of, in that this is the first one in North America. And the Japanese, especially at this point, didn't really think that we were smart enough to do these games. Which, fair, honestly. Like, the difference between a Western RPG and a JRPG is often the strategy, right? Like, a Western RPG is more action-heavy, typically speaking. Or traditionally speaking, anyway. Like, you've got your Skyrims and your Fallouts, at least nowadays. Whereas your JRPGs are your Final Fantasies. And traditionally speaking, the JRPGs are more turn-based, there's more planning involved. And now they're kind of moving away from that, actually. But back in this day, it certainly wasn't the case. So they had to explain everything to us so that we could actually beat the game. But now they're moving away from it and I don't like it. For instance, Final Fantasy 15, action RPG. The alleged Final Fantasy 7 remake, not remaster, remake, is going to be an action RPG. Much like Final Fantasy 15. I think it's probably the same engine or same style or whatever. And I don't like it. Like, give me Final Fantasy X. Just give me that game. And I know they've done that. They've given me that game like 5 times now. I bought it 4. Probably going to be 5 once it's actually out on the Switch. Because I have no shame. See, I bought it for the PS2, I bought it for the PS3, I bought it for the PS4, and I bought it for Steam. Along with 10-2. Which, by the way, I like almost as much. I know that's another opinion that a lot of people do not share. But I don't care. I think gameplay-wise, that game might be better. I think the battle system that combines the turn-based and some more quick decision making with its ATB style, I think is better. I think the actual battle gameplay is better in that. Story, not so much. But I don't think the story's bad either. I think people give it a hard time for very little reason. And I almost wonder if it has to do with it just being led by 3 female characters. Especially given where we currently are when it comes to, well, that specifically. I almost wonder if that wasn't a precursor, a harbinger. The canary in the coal mine. Or a canary. Not the. But one of them. That should have let us see, oh, this is what's coming. Because it did something slightly different. And it did something slightly different while being led by women. And therefore bad. And I don't agree with it at all. And I've always liked that game. I feel like some of the people who dislike that game dislike it for the wrong reasons. But that's just me. So we're learning what village people do now. Which sounds kind of racist. Village people. But it's not. It's just the people we visit in the villages. The people of village. And they're going to teach us things. Because this pop-up teaches us things. The village people also have to teach us things. Why? I don't know. This is stuff that I feel like we already knew. Like, the last chapter taught us about terrain, did it not? Then again, it only taught us about forests. I guess mountains are different. Yeah, I know you recommend stopping by, but you don't give us a choice either, game. Actually, maybe it does give us a choice. Like, it points a cursor there. I don't know if you have to follow it. I did. I have every time. But I'm actually not sure that you have to. Perhaps you don't. Maybe you can just be like, I don't want to do this. Apparently there's a hard mode for each story that skips the tutorials. That would have been a good thing to play for the first few chapters. Fortunately, you don't have that option until you beat it. So such is life. You're just kind of hooped in that regard. Anyway, so you see the crack in the wall there. We are going to, we're going to try to destroy that crack. I think the next village will tell us that too. If there is one. Maybe we learned that already. I'm not paying attention. It's early. I'm tired. I don't think anyone told us yet, though. And then we can go straight for the boss, instead of fighting off all of his minions. But here's the thing, you kind of want to fight off all the minions this early. Like, doing a boss rush when you're this low means you're not really leveling up to the point that you can actually do the boss rush successfully. It's just kind of dumb. Like, these enemies are not a challenge. They all have axes, which means our swords beat them all the time. We have very little reason to not just kill them all. I decided this turn to just let him come to me. I'll just do a counterattack. So, he decided to go for the forest dude, which is dumb. His prerogative, but he's not going to hit me. It's kind of a problem for him. Seize the throne. Okay. A lot of these are defeat the boss and then claim the thing the boss was on. His name is Glass. Sword bearing. I wonder what that means. Think of the rock, paper, scissors. What defeats it? I don't know. Oh, it's just going to tell us. It's hand-holding us so hard right now. Goodness, game. Okay, we did hear. Up to you. Oh, we finally get to play the video game. It took us a while. But see, we're so linearly pathed here. Ooh, almost a level up. We can only do 2 things. And I guess that is a choice. To be fair. I'm just going to take it nice and slow. Because I have no reason not to. Just let them approach. Basically, you just don't want to get cornered by, like, 2 or 3 dudes. Not sure what all of these even are. I don't know what res is. Maybe it's rescue? I haven't used rescue, though. I don't really know what it does. Maybe it lets you, like, take an injured person out of the fight so they don't get killed. That would make sense. But I don't know that for a fact. Yeah, we're dodging really well right now. See, like I said, these guys are no trouble at all. So why wouldn't I bother to kill them? I can't remember if I actually killed the guy at the bottom. I don't think I do. I think I actually took the recommended path. But it probably would have been faster to just go after that dude. So lance is stronger. The lance, we can kill it in 2 hits. The sword would take 3. So why would we do that? Exactly, we wouldn't. That was a good turn, enemy. Good turn. My dudes are ready to breach. I think that's the word. Breach. That's what the FBI does. I've played a Tom Clancy Splinter Cell game before. You breach the wall. Those are fun games. I like them. Like the Rainbow Six games and the other Tom Clancy games. I mean, Splinter Cell, obviously. That was like the stealth one, if I remember right. Whereas the Rainbow Six games are like you're a force. You're a team. You're gonna go kill everyone. Can't remember which. I think I played Vegas 2. Maybe it was just the first Vegas. It was one of them anyway. I played it co-op with a friend. That was fun. We did really well. We beat the game. Remember when you played co-op, like on the couch co-op with people? Those were good times. We have long since abandoned those, thanks to online play. But they were fun times. We should bring those back. I'm trying to think of the last co-op game I played with a friend on a couch. It was probably a shooter. Because it works best for shooters for some reason. But I can't think of what game it would be. Now, part of that's just not having a ton of friends, who want to come over and play games. But the ones that I do have online now, so they don't need it. They don't need to come over and play games on the couch. Like, Army of Two we played, but that was still, like, at this point, a decade ago, I think. It's just not a thing anymore. That's crazy that we just kind of abandoned all of that. No, I can't think of anything more recent than that I played co-op with a friend. That's insanity. That trend is gone. So here I was looking to see if this guy would drop anything if we killed him, because I didn't want to miss out on an item. Turns out he does not. So I did in fact decide, let's just not. In fact, let's just beat the level. This guy just knows who we are. We're like the last person alive from that tribe, but he knows. Oh good, we have your gratitude. Is it secret? Is it safe? Yeah, it's fine. So this guy has a spell that makes sure it's like the King Arthur sword. Oh wow, thank you, dude. Something that everyone's been allowed to do, we are now also allowed to do for saving your life. And she's saying thank you sincerely. Also, she's King Arthur. It's her sword. It's now her sword, anyway. She has laid claim to it. Oh no, we're getting philosophical. They said the word soul. Do people have souls even? Fire Emblem believes you do. I'd get into that, but I mean, this chapter's almost over. Plus, I don't want to get all philosophical on you. When it comes to whether or not people have souls. That's getting into religion, too. And do we want to get into religion on this channel? Do we want to get into politics on this channel? Perhaps. Do I want to alienate a significant chunk of potential viewers by talking about those subjects? Perhaps. Because here's the thing. Especially for politics, you don't always want the people with whom you substantially disagree to be watching your stuff anyway. It doesn't matter, really, if you're going to alienate them. Because they're not the type of people, necessarily, that you want to be watching your stuff or following you. It's just going to lead to them being unhappy and you being unhappy, and you guys disagreeing about a whole ton of things. It's just not worth it. It's not even about who's right or wrong. Obviously, I'm right, they're wrong. It's just how it works. I am the hero of my own tale, after all. Everyone's stupid but me. But it's just for mutual happiness. I mean, that's why we get echo chambers, too, and that's a whole other conversation. But the chances that you are going to enjoy someone's content when you disagree with them substantially politically is low. It's not impossible, but it's low. So you maybe want to alienate them, especially when it's something like this. Like, I get when Michael Jordan said, that both sides buy shoes. That's true. You can enjoy a shoe pretty easily. Can you enjoy someone espousing their personal beliefs for 20 minutes a day? If you disagree vehemently with many of those beliefs, it's unlikely. Then you're going to get mad, you're going to comment, you're going to make an angry, I hate you type thing. Then I'm going to have to respond, say I hate you. It's just not fun. So let's not do that. It's just a bad idea. So I'll get into politics someday. Religion, I think, is less so, unless you're like a stark one way or the other. And I mean religious or non-religious, it doesn't really matter what type of religious, really. Those guys, they disagree on the specifics, but not on the concept, I guess. Whereas when you're an atheist, you're against all of them. So you're one side or the other there. And I think unless you're like very, very extreme one way or the other, you can still get along with them. You can still enjoy their content. But it's the politics of it. Because I think politics does influence the types of media that people enjoy, the types of things that they like. You see it with the movies. You see it with the video games. It's usually one side or the other liking this specific thing or disliking this specific thing. There's usually a hive mind aspect to it because of politics. Isn't that fun?